Null on my wedding day, I handed the key card of the reserved hotel room to my husband's white moonlight with $1 million in cash in hand. I've already gotten him drunk. You can just go in. Lin Chuchu looked at me in disbelief. Are you really giving Xing to me for $1 million? I blinked my eyes. In this day and age, being a good person is even suspect. I took out the small box that the front desk had just given me from my pocket and handed it to her. Don't worry. He's sound asleep in there. If you're afraid of getting pregnant, use this. Lin Chuchu. I carried the freshly acquired $1 million in my hand and was overjoyed. I was already fantasizing about my carefree life of buying a house, a car, and dating young hunks. But after just a few steps, Lin Chuchu's scream came from behind me. My heart skipped a beat. The soundproofing in the hotel was so good, yet the scream could still be heard. Xing truly lived up to his reputation as the husband that all the girls in City B dreamed of. He was really something. But just as the elevator reached the first floor, the old-fashioned mobile phone in my bag rang. I took out the phone and saw that it was Xing calling. It had only been 2 minutes since I came downstairs. Was he done already? It seemed I had to take back what I just said. Hello. As soon as I pressed the answer button, the man's furious voice came through the phone. Songshiyu, you're really generous. You sent someone to your husband's bed on your wedding day. Isn't this what you've been waiting for? He just married you after waiting for her for 3 years, and she didn't marry anyone in those 3 years. You two should be together. I'm blessing you. There was a moment of silence on the other side, followed by the man's gnashing teeth. Songshiyu, if you don't want to die, come back to me. Okay. I'll come back right away. I said as I ran outside the hotel. But only a fool would go back. Wouldn't it be great if I took the money and lived a carefree life as the legitimate wife? Everyone who knew Xing knew that he liked Lin Chuchu, but he married me just to please old Master Fu. When he first came to propose, I thought the Song family's ancestral grave was smoking. Xing, who was so powerful in City B, actually said he wanted to marry me, but soon reality gave me a hard slap. On the day of the engagement, Xing disappeared. The guests and I waited in the hotel for over 10 hours before he finally showed up and said to me, I'm sorry. Something came up. Later, I heard rumors that he flew abroad to celebrate his white moonlight's birthday, which was why he was late. I was really poor, but I also had my pride. I didn't want to get married anymore. Right now. Immediately. Break off the engagement right away. But Xing took out the previously signed agreement, which stated that if the Song family didn't marry, they would have to pay 80 million in liquidated damages. I was stunned. Who signed this? My parents hung their heads in the crowd of guests and didn't dare to look at me. I suddenly realized that I had been sold. On the day of my engagement, I went from being the most enviable woman in City B to a laughingstock. The rich girls who used to fawn over me were all secretly mocking me. They said I was just a tool to please old Master Fu. If a man can bear this, who can't? So on my wedding day, I gave Xing to Lin Chuchu in exchange for $1 million. I looked at the money in my hand and grinned from ear to ear. Soon I would earn enough 80 million to pay off the liquidated damages and kick Xing, that scumbag, to the curb. According to the money-making methods I knew, the hottest industry at the moment was the entertainment industry. I took the $1 million and entered the entertainment company of the Qin family, which was as powerful as the Fu family and their rival, and prepared to become an artist. As soon as I took off my sunglasses to audition, I looked at the judges' panel across from me in horror. Could someone tell me why Xing's sworn enemy was sitting here? He was a young master. Why wasn't he traveling around having fun and chasing girls? How did he end up supporting his own company? Su looked at me with a hint of amusement. Miss Song, you just got married today. Why do you have time to come here? I opened my mouth but suddenly didn't know what to say. But for the sake of money, a man will do anything. In order to make up the remaining 79 million, I would fight for it. Immediately, I put on a smile and said without blushing or a racing heart, Yes, President Qin. I just got married today. I left Xing behind and came here especially to audition. I hope Su could feel my love for money. Oh no, my professional spirit. Miss Song, don't joke with me. Next, Su said to the actor behind me. But how could I give up this opportunity? Just as the security guards were about to come in and take me away, I gritted my teeth and hugged Su's thigh, crying, Su, have mercy on me. Xing is such a heartless man. He went to celebrate his white moonlight's birthday on our engagement day, and today on our wedding day he still wants to spend the night with her. Before we got married we signed a domineering contract. I don't have the money to pay the liquidated damages. I'll be stuck in the Fu family for the rest of my life. What does it have to do with me if you're stuck in the Fu family? Su said coldly to me. I didn't expect this man to be so cold-blooded. At that moment I could only clench my teeth and shout, How could it have nothing to do with you? I'm pregnant with your child. The whole place went silent. Su looked at me and said through gritted teeth, Songshiyu, why have you become even more shameless after marrying into the Fu family? Seeing that he still wanted the security guards to take me out, I closed my eyes and pretended to faint. After a long time, Su's voice came from beside me. Everyone's gone. Songshiyu, stop pretending. Su and I grew up together, so he naturally knew how shameless I could be. To avoid misunderstandings, he could only send the others away. But after I agreed to marry his sworn enemy Xing, he cut off all ties with me. I carefully opened my eyes a slit and found that everyone around had left. I quickly got up from the ground and sat on the stool next to Su. Su, I want to enter the entertainment industry. The Fu family is so powerful. Why does Miss Song want to work for my Qin family? I want a divorce, but the contract says that any money I earn using the Fu family's connections and channels doesn't belong to me. This is all I have left now. I placed over 30 caddies of banknotes in front of Su. This was the money I got from selling Xing. Of course, according to the contract terms, this money didn't belong to me either, so I had no problem giving it to Chin-Su. What do you mean by this? Chin-Su knew my love for money. Seeing me give him so much money was like I was giving away my last words. His face looked a bit ugly. I want to bring my own investment into the company. I want to make money, terminate the contract with the Fu family, and become a single noble. Chin-Su looked at me suspiciously. Song Shiyu, if you knew this would happen, why did you marry Fu Xing in the first place? Could it be that I... At this point, Chin-Su suddenly stopped. I blinked at him. What was wrong with him? Forget it. Take the money back. Uncle and Aunt Song's health isn't good. Buy them more nutritional supplements. Remember to come to the company for registration tomorrow. I looked at Chin-Su with teary eyes. He was such a good friend. If it weren't for the saying that a rabbit doesn't eat the grass near its own hole, I would have married him instead of Fu Xing. Wouldn't it be nice if I could play games with him every day? The next day, I went to work wearing sunglasses, and the hot search had exploded. Shock! Fu Xing slept with Lin Xiaohua in a hotel on his wedding day. Rumor has it that the Fu family's bride went crazy and went to the Fu family's rival company to make a scene, claiming that she was pregnant with the rival's child. I looked at the push notifications on my phone and couldn't help but curl my lips. It was a pity that these netizens didn't write novels. Fu Xing was famous because of his family's wealth, and Lin Chuchu was a rising star in the entertainment industry and was also famous. I was just an unknown nobody. I didn't even deserve a photo, but this made it convenient for me to enter the entertainment industry. The Qin family's company was really powerful. It took care of almost everything a newcomer needed. Since we were going to be on a variety show, the company arranged for teachers to train us for 3 months. During this period, Fu Xing kept calling me, but I rejected all his calls. I didn't have time to engage in a battle with him now. Men would only slow down my pace of making money. After we all finished training, we finally made it onto the screen of Orange TV. However, when I saw the people sitting on the judges' panel, I suddenly didn't want to participate in the show anymore. There were a total of 4 judges and I knew 3 of them. The man sitting in the middle, who was extremely handsome and exuded male charm with every smile and word, was none other than my $1,000,000 husband, Fu Xing. Next to him was Chin-Su, and at the end was Lin Chuchu. I should have been a person with a certain status in this relationship, but now standing on the stage I felt inferior and like an idle trainee, and I almost wanted to turn around and leave. This show shouldn't be called Come On Girls at all. It should be directly renamed Embarrassed to Death, The Legal Wife. When the guests were being introduced, Fu Xing could still maintain a relaxed smile at first, but when the host introduced me, Fu Xing couldn't hold it in anymore. He sat on the judge's seat and coldly pronounced my name. Song Shiyu. This wasn't a question but an interrogation. I could feel Fu Xing's anger from a long distance away. The host hadn't realized the seriousness of the situation yet and asked with a smile, "Does Teacher Fu know our little fairy?" His words undoubtedly added salt to Fu Xing's wound. The Fu family's wealth was beyond measure, and his newlywed wife was actually going to sing, dance, and rap on stage. Where would the Fu family's face go? Sure enough, Fu Xing's face instantly darkened. I know. His words attracted a lot of attention to me, and the host looked at me in surprise. After all, not everyone could catch this man's eye. But I was chanting Amitabha on the stage. This man was really like a lingering ghost. There were so many ways for him to show off his affection with Lin Chuchu. Alas, he was a CEO and he wanted to be high profile. He had to participate in the same show as this white moonlight and also run into his new wife. This kind of dog blood plot wouldn't even be written like this in novels. I looked at Chin-Su with an inquiring look, wanting him to explain to me what was going on. But he didn't even notice me. He tilted his head and stared at Fu Xing unhappily, as if he wanted to kick him off the judges' panel. So on this stage I was the only one who got hurt. Soon the show began. Thanks to Chin-Su's backdoor, my performance order and program were quite good. Others were performing solo, singing and dancing, while I had a male dance partner. So when my male partner held my waist and we walked onto the stage together, Fu Xing's face turned as black as ink. Beep. Fu Xing pressed the elimination button. Everyone looked at him. The performance hadn't even started yet. Why did he press the elimination button? The host, who had 10 years of hosting experience, smiled and smoothed things over. Teacher Fu must have pressed it by mistake, right? Fu Xing didn't say anything and looked impatiently at me on the stage. Seeing the awkward atmosphere, the host could only signal to the backstage, and the music started immediately. So the dance partner touched my waist. Fu Xing. Beep. The dance partner hugged me and looked at me affectionately. Fu Xing. Beep. The organizer didn't dare to offend him either, and could only say that the machine was broken. But the audience's eyes were sharp. What machine was broken? It was clearly Fu Xing who pressed it himself. Everyone took pictures of this scene. When the song ended, the sound of the elimination button on Fu Xing's side didn't stop. Later, when I was sweating profusely and standing on the stage, Chin-Su looked at Fu Xing unhappily. Does young Master Fu have a problem with his hand? I know a very good old Chinese doctor. Let him give you a few acupuncture treatments. No need. I'm very healthy. Young Master Qin can keep the old Chinese doctor for himself. The two of them argued back and forth for a long time. The audience below had the expression as if they were looking at a world-famous painting. Only I was indifferent on the stage. Why didn't these two men change their habit of bickering as soon as they saw each other? Finally, I couldn't bear it anymore and took the microphone from the host with a smile. Ahem. Can the two judge teachers decide whether I stay or leave? Suddenly interrupted, Fu Xing and Chin-Su both looked at me, pausing their argument. Without a doubt, Fu Xing pressed the elimination button, and Chin-Su pressed the pass button. The unknown judge was still looking around, wanting to see the organizer's opinion. Lin Chuchu actually pressed the pass button. Now everyone was looking at that unknown judge. He was stared at firmly by Fu Xing and Qin Su. Finally, he gritted his teeth and pressed the pass button. I grinned from ear to ear on the stage. It seemed that Lin Chuchu was very satisfied with the product of Fu Xing, otherwise she wouldn't have let me pass. But I was too happy too soon. Not long after I entered the backstage, the organizer pulled me aside for a talk. Song Shiyu graduated from Lanxiang Excavator Technical School, trained for 3 months with no experience. An uncle with a bald head who looked like a leader read my resume. I replied carefully, yes, you don't need to come for the next recording. We will give the audience a reasonable explanation. This sentence was like a bolt from the blue. I hadn't even debuted yet, and I was about to be shelved. Leader, didn't I pass? Why do I have to leave the competition? You offended young Master Fu of the Fu family. Who gave you the confidence to still want to stay in the entertainment industry? I did. As soon as he finished speaking, Qin Su walked into the backstage from outside. It was the intermission now, and the judges had come to the backstage. Fu Xing was still looking at me unfriendly. Young Master Qin, this is just a newcomer. The organizer still wanted to persuade Qin Su. Fu Xing, who was beside him, grabbed my arm and said coldly, Song Shiyu, are you having fun outside? The organizer? I struggled and pretended not to know. Fu Xing, who are you? I don't know you. Qin Su gave a few glances to the people around, and they left knowingly. Song Shiyu, do you want me to help you remember if you know me or not? As he said that, Fu Xing pushed me onto the sofa beside me. Qin Su quickly inserted himself between us and protected me behind him. This is an artist under our company. Please show some respect, young Master Fu. The two men stood together, completely incompatible, and the smell of gunpowder was strong. At this time Lin Chuchu, who was following behind, couldn't help but whisper a warning. Ah Xing, don't be angry. After hearing her words, Fu Xing snorted coldly and sat down beside him. Seeing that everyone had left and my identity wouldn't be exposed, I slowly opened my mouth. Fu Xing, anyway, you married me just to please the old man. Wouldn't it be better if we got along well in public and did our own things in private? I admit that I was initially attracted by this man's looks, but he had always been entangled with his white moonlight. So it would be great if he could be with his white moonlight forever, and I could earn enough 80 million in the entertainment industry and then part ways with him. Hearing me say this, Fu Xing finally looked at me seriously. You are still a member of the Fu family. Is it appropriate for you to be with other men outside and show your face on the show? I understood what he meant. He thought it was embarrassing for me to perform, but Lin Chuchu was also performing. Why didn't he dislike her? As expected, in a dog's eyes, even shit is fragrant. Why isn't it appropriate? No one knows my relationship with you, and I haven't spent your money. Your true love is waiting beside you to take the position. Fu Xing looked at me coldly and simply dropped a sentence. Song Shiyu, I advise you to behave yourself and go back to the Fu family and do what you should do. I couldn't help but roll my eyes at him. What was the point of going back? To watch him and Lin Chuchu be judges on variety shows and show off their affection while I was a mute bride in the Fu family? Seeing my impatient expression, Fu Xing gave me a cold look and turned around and left. This time Lin Chuchu didn't follow Fu Xing. She slowly walked up to me. Song Shiyu, don't think that just because you entered the entertainment industry, you can get the same attention from Fu Xing as I do. Could she be any more narcissistic? If I don't enter the entertainment industry to make money and terminate the marriage contract, will 80 million just blow into my hands? I beg God to let this pair of scumbag and green tea girl lock themselves up forever and stop coming out to harm me. Under Qin Su's pressure, the organizer still couldn't kick me out of the variety show. Owing to Fu Xing's attitude towards me at that time, I also attracted a great deal of attention from the audience. Everyone thought there would be some juicy gossip, but after searching high and low they found nothing. It was not until the second recording of the show that the venue was changed. Thanks to Qin Su's operation, I successfully made my debut and became a bit popular. Soon I received offers to act in TV dramas. I didn't expect that the remuneration for my first drama would earn me 800,000 yuan. Although it was still a long way from paying off the liquidated damages, at least it was a good start. So I started shuttling between various drama crews, working hard and constantly improving myself. Finally, I achieved some success in the entertainment industry. I also got the opportunity to cooperate with Lin Chuchu in the latest drama. Originally, this drama was supposed to have a single female lead, but the screenwriter thought the second female lead had a distinct personality and forcefully changed it to a double female lead. The fans of the two sides were arguing about who should be the lead. Since we were in the same drama crew, it was inevitable that Lin Chuchu and I would meet. But unlike before, she now had Fu Xing's care and her career was soaring. When I was acting in a drama, she was participating in a variety show. When I was on a variety show, she was starring in a movie. She always had to outdo me in everything, but I didn't care at all. I didn't know what she was fussing about. My relationship with Fu Xing as husband and wife had long been in name only. One day, the drama crew prepared boxed lunches for everyone. As usual, I asked my little assistant to bring me 2 dishes and then left. Soon, I heard the discussions of the actors in the same crew nearby. Really? Young Master Fu is here to visit the set again. I didn't pay much attention and continued to eat my meal with my head down. Suddenly, a pair of shiny leather shoes appeared in my field of vision. I looked up and sure enough it was Fu Xing, and Lin Chuchu was following behind him. You can go and do your work first. I sent the little assistant away and put down the boxed lunch to look at Fu Xing. Didn't he come to visit his white moonlight? Why did he come to me for no reason? In a few days it's Grandpa's birthday. Remember to go. He left after saying these words. But this time Lin Chuchu didn't follow Fu Xing. She stared at me with fixed eyes. Song Shiyu, do you think you've won like this? I was a bit stunned. Win what? If I accompanied Fu Xing to a banquet, Could it make him be devoted to me? Although I didn't like Fuxing, Grandpa Fu had always been very kind to me. When Fuxing and I got out of different cars and Lin Chuchu was following him, the guests were already used to it. Everyone knew that he liked Lin Chuchu. Grandpa Fu saw me and greeted me kindly. Xiaoyu, come here quickly, Grandpa. I immediately changed my expression from the coldness I had shown to Fuxing just now and put on a big smile. Grandpa. The meal was very solemn. Grandpa would look at me and Fuxing from time to time, and then at Lin Chuchu. When the guests all went to other places, Grandpa Fu banged his cane on the ground. I told you to draw a clear line from this woman and be nice to Xiaoyu. Is this how you do it? Fuxing didn't say anything and just lowered his head, allowing Grandpa's scolding. Instead, Lin Chuchu beside him felt sorry for Fuxing and couldn't help but speak up. Grandpa Fu, I came here by myself. Shut up. Who is your grandpa? Get out. You're an eyesore. Lin Chuchu reluctantly bit her lower lip and then pointed at me. I can leave, but I must expose Song Shiyu's money-worshipping face. She gave me the key card of the room where Xing was staying for $1 million. She is already the granddaughter-in-law of the Fu family, but she still hooks up with Qin Su and shows her face in the entertainment industry, embarrassing the Fu family. I was really amused by her. Grandpa was having a hard time celebrating his birthday, and she still wanted to compete with me. What was in her head? So this is how you talked about me when you were with Fuxing? I said slowly, looking at her. She opened her mouth but finally looked at Fuxing for help. However, there was no pity on the man's face. Fuxing looked at me coldly and said, then you and Qin Su didn't have your arms around each other? You weren't always together. They were really in harmony, worthy of being former lovers. But as the saying goes, a straight foot is not afraid of a crooked shoe. Qin Su and I were as close as brothers. Even if Qin Su and I slept in the same bed, nothing would happen. After I said that, Fuxing frowned and looked at me, and a guilty look flashed across Lin Chuchu's face. She quickly stepped forward to care about Fuxing. Today is Grandpa's birthday. Let's forget about it. I was extremely angry. When she was talking about me just now, why didn't she remember Grandpa's birthday? In the end, Grandpa Fu didn't want to persuade them anymore. He was so angry that he banged his cane on the ground and then left. I looked at Fuxing and said word by word, Song Shiyu will definitely get a divorce. A glimmer of joy flashed in Lin Chuchu's eyes. The relationship between Fuxing and me had finally broken down, and it was only a matter of time before we got divorced. This incident ended unhappily. As for my parents, after they signed the contract of selling me, I had no contact with them. As for Qin Su's offer to help me pay the compensation, I coldly refused. I must earn the money myself and then throw it in Fuxing's face. I continued to play the role of the cold-blooded killer goddess in the drama. Finally, after the drama was broadcast, I became very popular. And because of the problem of the double female leads, my fans and Lin Chuchu's fans started arguing. The director had already said it was a double female lead, but her fans insisted that I was the second female lead. Lin Chuchu came out to comfort her fans and also posted a short essay. No one can always be the lead, and no one will always be the second female lead. Her words might seem like she was speaking for me to others, but I knew very well what she meant. But I didn't argue. Anyway, the one with stronger strength has the final say. I comforted the fans in the group and told them not to argue with others, and to just enjoy their own little world. The cute fans in the group exploded with excitement when they saw me and said one after another, our Xiaoyu must be the most rational fans on the whole network. With the high ratings of the new drama, Lin Chuchu and I became the top choices for the leading actresses at present. We were always being compared by people in the industry no matter what we did. My salary also increased several times. Now I had earned more than 80 million yuan, and I could even afford to meet with Fuxing and then part ways amicably. But just when I was planning to act in the next drama, a lot of photos of me and Fuxing together suddenly appeared on the internet, saying that I was being kept. Shock! Popular actress Song Shiyu is suspected of being kept. The variety show I participated in earlier was also dug out. Fuxing's unusual attitude towards me, and my numerous resources further confirmed the speculation of the marketing accounts. Looking at the messy speculations of everyone, I couldn't help but sneer. I was the legitimate granddaughter-in-law of the Fu family. Besides, I hadn't spent a single cent of Fuxing's money over the years. It was bullshit to say I was being kept. Qin Su told me not to act rashly and see if the team could handle the public relations. Just when we were about to suppress this matter, Lin Chuchu at me. Xiaoyu, have you met Xing recently? I haven't gone to see him recently. This was tantamount to bringing this matter to the surface again. I knew what she was thinking. Didn't she succeed in sowing discord at the birthday banquet last time? Now she wanted to use public opinion to force me to make a choice. Should I quietly divorce Fuxing now or be ridiculed by the whole network for being a married young mistress making money in the entertainment industry? I frowned as I looked at the comments on the internet. Originally, I was thinking of paying the 80 million yuan myself to get a divorce. But now, after careful consideration, if I divorce Fuxing, wouldn't that 80 million yuan all be used by Lin Chuchu to buy luxury goods? It was really a profitable deal for Lin Chuchu to exchange $1 million for 80 million. But I didn't want to give out the money so simply now. I sent a message to Fuxing, asking him when he was free to sign the divorce agreement. In order not to attract the attention of the Fu family, we decided to go to the Haitian hotel to sign the agreement the day after tomorrow. After arranging all this, I called Qin Su and asked him to keep an eye on Lin Chuchu for me. Less than 3 hours later, he sent me the latest movements of Lin Chuchu. Looking at the message on my phone, a mocking smile curled up at the corners of my mouth. The fish had taken the bait. Soon, netizens dug out that Lin Chuchu was Fuxing's white moonlight. There were all kinds of things like he sent her a truckload of roses, and he bought a light show on the advertising building to celebrate her birthday. His special favors for her were countless. But everything changed during the years when she went overseas for development. Everyone felt that they had eaten a huge melon. They all said that during the days when Lin Chuchu was not by Fu Xing's side, I might have taken advantage of the situation and snatched her boyfriend. I rolled my eyes when I saw those messy speculations. If I had known that Fu Xing had an unforgettable white moonlight in his heart, I would never have given him a second look. I was just attracted by his appearance back then. I thought he was just cold to people, but in fact he had already had someone in his heart. And this bastard was useless. He married me just to please Grandpa, but behind my back, he was still entangled with Lin Chuchu. I was really unlucky to meet this pair of scumbags. The fans of the two sides on the internet were arguing fiercely, and many people were accusing me of being a mistress. I sneered. I printed out the divorce agreement and sent a message to Fu Xing, don't forget. See you at 8 o'clock tonight. Chin Su would also go with me just in case something went wrong. When we got to the hotel, as soon as Chin Su and I got out of the car, we sensed that there were people following us in the crowd not far away. We exchanged glances and pretended not to know and went to the reserved place. Fu Xing was already sitting there. I took a look at my phone. The live broadcast room that was secretly filming my divorce with Fu Xing had already become the top one. Lin Chuchu was truly a clever one. If I divorced Fu Xing, there would really be no more black material about me in the future. Although I had been in the industry for a short time, I had risen faster than anyone else, which made Lin Chuchu feel threatened. After learning from Fu Xing that I was going to divorce him, she specially found a big blogger to wait for me and livestream our divorce process. By the time I found out later, even if I had 10 mouths, I wouldn't be able to explain this clearly. Before our dishes were even served, Lin Chuchu came in from the door. She looked at me innocently and said, Xiaoyu, are you really going to divorce Xing? Actually, Xing and I are really just good friends, just like you and Chin Su. No, it was completely different. Could she stop insulting the friendship between Chin Su and me? And the big blogger she had contacted in advance was already sitting at the table next to us, recording every word she said clearly. I looked down at the live stream on my phone. By this time, some people had already started to set the tone. Really? You were actually secretly married? That's so disgusting. Isn't the Fu family rich enough? Why do you have to come and pollute the fan circle? Our Chuchu is so kind-hearted. Even though she was the victim of an affair, she still persuaded others not to divorce. I thought she had almost finished her act. I put away my phone, and tears immediately welled up in my eyes. I looked at Lin Chuchu and cried, It's not my fault. If I had known that you two were in love and Fu Xing proposed to me when you were abroad, I shouldn't have agreed. Lin Chuchu finally couldn't hold her expression when she heard me say this, and Fu Xing frowned as he looked at me, waiting for what I would say next. Of course, I wouldn't let the audience in the live stream down. I directly took out a card from my pocket and put it on the table. Here is 80 million yuan. I earned it from acting in dramas, and part of it was borrowed from Chin Su. Now it's enough to pay for the agreement we signed before. When I took out this card out of the corner of my eye, I saw that the blogger who was secretly filming couldn't help but lean out to watch the show. Lin Chuchu was stunned. She never expected that there was a domineering contract between Fu Xing and me. Now it was my turn to make a dramatic reversal. I took out the divorce agreement and tearfully handed a pen to Fu Xing, sign it. The man's eyes were fixed on me, as if he wanted to see through me. He silently pushed the card back to me, and Lin Chuchu, who was beside him, quickly sat down next to Fu Xing. Xing, she has been in the Fu family for so long. She must have spent a lot. You can take this money. But this time Fu Xing ignored her. Instead, he tightly held the pen I gave him and hesitated over the signature column. I took advantage of this moment to look at the live stream, which was already filled with a row of 666 comments. There were also a few comments in between saying that I was the real victim. As for the blogger next to us, he was still filming the situation here. Only a fool would pass up such traffic. Sign it, Fu Xing. Do you think there's any point in us dragging this on? I said slowly. Lin Chuchu's eyes were almost glued to the pen, but Fu Xing still didn't sign. Finally, he pushed the agreement aside. I'll take it back to the Fu family and let the lawyer look at the terms. Let's eat first. I had already invited Chin Su to this divorce meal, and he pulled this stunt? Xing, there should be no problem with this document. Lin Chuchu wanted to say something more, but was silenced by Fu Xing's cold glance. The live stream exploded. Sign it, you bastard. Please don't delay my sister Yu from making money anymore. Didn't you notice that young Master Fu didn't take Song Shiyu's money? Maybe he's not a bad guy. I wish the person upstairs the same when you get married and sign an agreement owing someone 80 million. Passers-by all felt sorry for me, but the dinner table was unusually silent. I didn't know what Fu Xing was up to, but I had prepared all the money. This time I wouldn't compromise again. By the next day, when the hot search was dominated by last night's live stream, the whole internet was discussing the sky-high premarital contract and how Lin Chuchu, knowing she was the third party, tried to take advantage of the situation to get ahead. The blogger said he couldn't stand Lin Chuchu's fake persona, and exposed that she had invited him to record the divorce scene. The fans in my fan group were also feeling sorry for me. Poor Mayu Bao. She was even ridiculed by a short essay when she entered the industry. I can't stand it. I'm going to go and scold that Sanchu a few more times. Lin Chuchu used to be a goddess in the drama circle, and now she was affectionately called Sanchu by netizens. Overnight, everyone was on my side. It could be said that the blogger Lin Chuchu hired was actually helping me, and she was boycotted by the whole network. Fu Xing was also deeply involved in the public opinion. He faced questions from the Fu family and pressure from other aspects. No matter how many people supported me, I didn't say anything. This was also because Fu Xing pushed the 80 million yuan card back to me. Late at night, I returned to my place from the company, but before I could open the door, I was stopped by a drunken Fu Xing in the corner. Did you buy the blogger and the hot search? His words really made me laugh. Would I do such a thing? I just knew Lin Chuchu's plan in advance. I definitely wouldn't give out this 80 million for nothing. No, I don't like to take up public resources, I said coldly. Fu Xing also followed my words and said, well, I don't think it was you either. But why do you want to divorce me? This man must be really drunk. I slowly said what was on my mind. We're not suitable for each other. Why not? If we're not suitable, why did you marry me in the first place? Maybe I liked you at first, but you've always been entangled with Lin Chuchu. What was the point of me being in the middle? If I draw a clear line from her, will you stay? I lowered my head and didn't say anything, responding to Fu Xing with silence. I understand. The next day, a thick folder was delivered to my place. I opened it and saw that it was the divorce agreement signed by Fu Xing. I happily posted a tweet. Now I'm a single noble. 3 seconds later there was a like. I took a closer look and found that it was Lin Chuchu who liked it. I was a bit speechless and directly blocked her. Now I could wait on Xin for the Best Actress award at Orange TV at the end of the year. Lin Chuchu had ruined her own bright future, and this award was definitely mine. But the next day someone in the fan group at me, saying that Lin Chuchu was going crazy on the internet. Since I had blocked her, I could only use a fan's small account to check. Lin Chuchu wrote a very long essay which basically said that she had been with Fu Xing for many years, but when she went overseas for development someone that is me took her place. She said I was money worshipping, that I sold Fu Xing for $1 million, that my family was poor and I took a large sum of money from the Fu family before marriage, and that Fu Xing and she were judges on the show together just to make me angry and it was all just for show. The last sentence was, Song Shiyu, now Fu Xing likes you. Are you satisfied? I read it and didn't say anything. Whether Fu Xing liked me or not was no longer important. The important thing was that I didn't like him anymore. Maybe when Lin Chuchu came back, he found that he didn't like her after spending time with her. But from the moment he left me alone at the engagement banquet to face the ridicule of the guests and went abroad to celebrate Lin Chuchu's birthday, I was disappointed in him. And Lin Chuchu posted this just to whitewash herself. She wasn't the third party. She and Fu Xing had always been just for show. I sneered and then commented below. Why? Can't marry into the Fu family and now want to come back to the entertainment industry to make money? My words spoke the minds of the masses and were quickly pushed to the front row. Lin Chuchu couldn't avoid seeing it even if she wanted to. She was very angry and naturally wouldn't be polite when replying to me. You're Song Shiyu's dog, right? This sentence enraged everyone, and they all demanded that her company give an explanation. Shouldn't an artist with such bad character be forced to retire? In the end, the official issued a statement, saying that because the staff liked Lin Chuchu too much, they used her account to insult fans. But this time the netizens weren't so easy to fool. They started to boycott all the products endorsed by Lin Chuchu. The brand side was forced to terminate the contract with Lin Chuchu, and the new spokesperson came to me. Chin Su called me and said that I had received so many endorsement offers in the past few days that my hands were tired. And on Lin Chuchu's side, no one logged in anymore and it was always offline. Her account should have been taken over by the company. At the end of the year, I won the Best Actress award at Orange TV as expected, and Lin Chuchu, who used to be at the same level as me, was listed as a discredited artist and was refused entry by the staff. She cursed me again and again outside the door and was photographed by many media. But because she was affecting others' entry, the security guards finally had to drive her away. I held the trophy and stood on the shiny stage, and the reporters from all over the place took pictures of my perfect moment. The end.